Welcome to Creative Pages with Catherine. Welcome to Creative Pages with Catherine. I'm Catherine, and I am live here tonight to do one of the sketches from the Creative Memories virtual crop for February. And I'm actually going to start a little bit out of sync here. I'm going to be doing sketch number 3. I put a poll on my community tab like I do every month. And Vivid Melodies was the collection that it seemed like people wanted to see the most. It was the most voted for. So I thought, why not start with the collection that was voted for the most? And when I looked at the sketches, they have been releasing them all at once now that they changed it a little bit for 2023. And sketch number 3 just spoke to me to go with Vivid Melodies. So that's what we're going to start with, is sketch number 3. And hopefully tonight I'll be able to get at least one more sketch done. But this one is one of the 2-page sketches. And let's go ahead and get started. All right. Takes a moment to get all of the buttons pushed to get everything switched over for the cameras. Here is our sketch number 3. I'm going to hold it up so that way if you would like a screenshot of the measurements that I'm going to be using today, you can get that. And I went ahead and picked from the lime tart collection from Vivid Melodies. I picked the page that it has this grid on the back side and kind of a floral pattern on the front. Let me adjust my light just a moment here so that way you all can see just a little bit better. There we go. Okay. Looks funny on my end, but I can see it looks better on the camera. So here is the lime tart pattern that I'm using. It has the grids on the back. And then I've also pulled out my circle punch, my embossed blossom punch that came in secret box number 4 from 2022, and our bumblebee punch to use with this layout. I know we just had the first secret box of this year, but I actually didn't get that one. Y'all know I had number 4 because I used it for an entire crop last year. So that's what I decided to go ahead and use again with this. If you don't have the embossed blossom, you can substitute this one, Mandevilla flower as well. So I think it would look just as beautiful. Just would give it a little different effect to it. And if you don't have the bumblebee, well, it's still available for sale on my website, which will be linked in the description box below the video. Or if you want to substitute something you have, look and see what you have and use one of those. All right, so I actually followed one of the measurements on the layout, which I know is really unusual. I took one of our butterscotch pieces. It has the scallop design on the back. It kind of has the ombre effect on the front. And I was using a lot of scraps I had left from other projects with this collection. So I went ahead and cut 2-inch by 12-inch pieces out of both of these ombre patterned papers. And I'm also going to be using a couple of our border stickers. So across the top here, and I'll show you the picture again in a few moments, we are going to lay this really skinny blue woven sticker. Oops. And as I learned in my sketch with me, be careful not to stick it down until it's where you want it. And I'm putting it maybe about, I don't know, 1/4 of an inch from the top of the page. Going across both pages here. And again, about 1/4 of an inch from the top. Make sure I have it at the end. There we go. Okay, and the reason I did that first was because that kind of anchors where the top of the page is, and I actually am only using the one, and then I only also punched 10 circles total. I did 6 of the embossed blossoms and 4 of the bumblebee punches. And I will explain a little bit more about the papers I used for those as I go along. But in the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and start adding some tape runner to my 2-inch pieces here. And those are going to go across underneath our border sticker. And you could take and make your border piece at the top here a little bit larger, longer, wider. Okay, hang on. There we go. Instead of cutting it at 2 inches, maybe cut it at 2.5 inches or even 3 inches. And you can take one of our Border Maker cartridges and create your own decoration for the top and the bottom going across the page as well. But I just decided to go ahead and use the border stickers. I had them, and I just thought, hey, let's use up some of this collection, which is partially why I went ahead and put it in the poll. And I'm really glad everybody chose it because it lets me use up some of what I have left from other projects with this collection. And that one wasn't quite on straight, so I had to pull out my multi-purpose tool. You see me use it quite a bit. There we go. I feel better about that. All right. So now let's go ahead and I don't know if I want to do our mats next or if I want to do our circles next. Maybe let's do our circles next. And I'm actually going to go ahead and put our pages on top of each other. And we're going to go ahead and start sticking things down here. And I'm going to use the repositionable tape because I think that's going to be easier. And I'm going to get my mat scooted out of the way here. And I'm going to bring in my parchment board because it's just so much easier to work on when I'm using the repositionable tape. And I'm going to just center my punched out pieces. So I have punched these out. These are the embossed blossom, and I used the Starry Night shimmer for part of them, and I used the orange shimmer for the other part. So you can see it has just kind of a little bit of extra shine and movement to the paper. And I just thought it would add a little extra pizzazz to the page here, I guess is the right word for it. And the same with the bumblebee. I just went across a couple of sheets and thought, why not alternate? And it adds a little bit of extra pop of color. I did take, excuse me, several of these spotted pages that we have in the Vivid Melodies collection is what I am sticking these onto. They all have slightly different patterns on the back. Is this pink? I don't know. I'm calling it pink. I know it has a fancy name, but I can't think of it off the top of my head right now. And then we have the blue. I know the yellow is the butterscotch. That one has dots on the back. And then we also have the green. So the page came in every color. This is the lime. And each one has a slightly different pattern on the back side of it. But I just thought, this adds some extra fun and color pops. And we're using, this collection came in 4 colors. So why not add little highlights of all 4 colors, especially if you bought the Buy It All bundle. Then you probably have, like me, a little bit left from each collection. So I have the butterscotch here. I have 2 of the blues, 1 of the pink, and 1 of the green going across the top here. And I just liked having them spaced out just a little bit more. I thought it would be a little bit too close with trying to put 6 of these on. And you can put 6 on if you want. That's, it's your world, it's your page. But, I like to give you all ideas of different things that you can do with the sketches. And now even that they're putting the measurements on, am rarely following some of the measurements as well. But here we go. And I'm just eyeballing it as usual, the spacing on it. You can grab out your ruler and get these exactly spaced, or you can just stick them on about a half an inch in between each circle and you'll have it. Now, working on the rest of our page here, I'm still on the left side, I guess. I've cut mats, and I did also use the dotted paper. So I have blue, I have two blues because I had an entire sheet of the blue. So I thought, well, okay. And then I had a scrap of the green, so I'm going to use that as well. And I even pulled out a couple of pictures so that way I can show you. It looks a little bit busy when it's on its own, but after you add your picture, you can see where it just really helps your pictures to pop, and the speckles really aren't too busy after you get your photos on to your page. So I just wanted to let you all know about that. I don't know if I'm actually going to stick them on at the end, but I at least wanted to make sure to remember to tell you about it. My mats are, let's see, I did I did two of the blue ones at 4 1/4 by 6 1/4. And then I did 4 at 4 1/4 by 6, because when I went to cut down my photos, I found I didn't really cut too much off the top and bottom, but I had a little bit off of each end, and it seemed to just work out perfectly if I did it at 4 1/4 by 6. So, check your photos before you do your mats if you want, or if you like how these look on the page. The sizing I thought worked out really well. It's not what the sketch says. So, as usual, I'm just going with what I want to do here. And so you can see, I think it's 5 by 3, 5.5 by 3.5. So my picture, I think, was 4 by, I don't know, 5.5. So anyway, so my mats, 4 1/4 by 6 and 4 1/4 by 6 1/4 is what I am using, which is different from what's on there. I'm going to run my other border sticker. I forgot my other piece as well. Well, that's okay. So this was one of the butterscotch border stickers. I guess I didn't quite forget a piece. And this one's going to go across the bottom. I just thought that this helped to reinforce that we have the butterscotch on the page at the top, and it's going to kind of bring back in this color again. But I also had just enough of the ombre paper, so I fussy cut off the orange end of it. As you can see, it starts out dark on each end, and then there's a light section. And so what I did was I cut that piece off, and then I took two pieces that were, where did I put that? 2 inches by 3.5 inches. This is why I write these things down, because for me to remember all these cuts would just be too much. And I just don't expect you all to remember it either, which is why I show you the sketch as much as I do. So I created 2 little journal boxes because I thought the ombre was light enough to write on. And it just also adds just that little extra cohesion of the color to the page as well. I'm going to center this here. And finally, I actually may move this over a little bit. So let me grab out my multi-purpose tool again, because I have an embellishment to add. And I should have thought of that before I placed the picture, but I forgot I had the embellishment up here. So in our Vivid Melodies butterscotch embellishments, if I can talk here, there's this sunshine. And so instead of doing the circles here on each end of the page that they have on the sketch, I thought, let's use up one of these larger embellishments that we have that's a part of this collection. And it also will add that extra little butterscotch effect to our page as well. I'm going to use my repositionable tape. These doesn't look like they're double-sided because it looks like it's white on the back, but I mean, you could always use the white side if that's what you want to do. I don't quite have this pressed back down, which is probably just as well, because I'm going to slide this under this end, just kind of centering it, making sure I'm on the page. And then I'm going to put that down. Whew, okay, there we go. There's the left half of our page. And then we'll get the right one done, and then I'll show you them together, and we'll go from there. So, okay, let's get our right side done. Oops, I forgot my little, well, I'll do that in a minute. Okay, we'll get there. It'll all get on the page. I just realized I had some extra little pieces that came off of the embossed flower punch, embossed blossom, forgive me, from our secret box that I just wanted to use up the little extra parts that punched out, because why waste those pieces if we can find a use for them? And I thought they would look nice with our journal box. So we'll get there. I'm not actually pressing these down. I'm just putting them lightly on the page. Again, this is with the shimmer paper, and I just punched it opposite when I punched the second time. So our blossoms are blue on the other page, and our bumblebees are orange. And on this page, our bumblebees are blue, and our blossoms are orange. All right, I should say Starry Night shimmer, but they're blue. Okay, here we go. Okay, so there's that. Now that looks pretty good. Let me center this one a little bit more. And this one can go over here. And then our two bumblebees. The nice thing about using repositionable tape is it's a little bit easier to maneuver. All right, so we have the same thing on this side as I had on the other side. I have the 4 1/4 by 6 mats, one in the green and one in the blue. And then my larger one is again the 6 1/4 by 4 1/4. So let me get these on first. And these do go kind of close together on the page just because they are larger mats than what the original design called for. And I'm not going to actually stick this one down all the way because I have the other half of my sunshine to put down, or flower, or whatever it is. It looks like a sunshine to me. But we also have our border sticker to get across the bottom of our page. Here we go. There's that. And this way I can slide this under much easier since I didn't actually push it down on my other page is moving. So let me scoot that over for a minute. Sometimes I almost wish the tables were wider than what they are, but then I probably wouldn't really be able to get that on camera. This one is going about here. Okay, so there's that. I have another journal box for down here. That's the 2 inches by 3 1/2 inches. And Then I'm going to grab my extra little pieces that came off with my embossed blossom, and I'm going to add those to accent my journal boxes. One in the middle and one on the top and bottom. So there we go with that. Here is the right side of our page. And again, like I said, it looks a little busy with the dots, but like I said, once you get the pictures on, it really just settles everything down and your pictures just really shine on the page. So let me get my other three on and move those out of the way, and then we'll get both of these on the camera here so that we all can see. Get my parchment board out of the way a little bit. Okay, so I think I'm going to get them both on the camera for you. Whew. Sometimes live streaming definitely always keeps it interesting. But I love it. I love that I'm able to share what I'm doing for the virtual crop with you all. And I hope it gives you some ideas along the way as well of something different, maybe that you haven't seen done before. Uh-oh, I mixed those up, didn't I? Yes, I did. Okay, I need to scoot one to the other side because I can't have two oranges together. I've got to get my my blue on the other side here. Here we go. Because of course, when I did the blossoms, I had 3 of each. So there's 6 total of these little leaves as well that come with the, when you punch your embossed blossom, it comes with both of these pieces when you punch. So I also have one of the stickers that came with this collection, and I think actually I am going to put it in one of our boxes, our journal boxes, and then you can always write your story around it. I don't know if I'm going to put it on the left side or the right side yet, but they do have space for a title up here. But since I did make my mats larger, I really don't have space in the top for mine. And I thought, you know, since I created this little bit of extra space down here, I think I just thought the sticker that said our story was fitting. And I don't even need foam squares for it because it's already puffy. And I think this was like a bonus that you could get when you purchased the Buy It All bundle. And we do have some Buy It All bundles, in fact, for a lot of our collections. And if you purchase a Buy It All bundle with me through the link in the description box below, you get free admission to my project recipe mashup, but only if you buy it while it's on sale. They've been putting them on 10% off when the collections are a new release, and we do have a new release coming this coming Monday for our Cue the Blue collection that's going to be released. So you never know. You can follow the links to find the collection, and I will send you an email at the email you used to make the purchase to be admitted to the mashup for that collection. So here it is, sketch number 3. Here is our sketch one more time here with all of my measurements on it and what I used from the Vivid Melodies collection that everybody voted on that they wanted to see. And let me switch over one more time here. All right, there we go. Thank you so much for watching tonight. Hopefully I will be on here again soon with another sketch from this February virtual crop. Until next time.